Welcome to Ovaries before Brovaries, a liberal channel dedicated to breaking social misconceptions. So last week we asked you guys to send us your questions so that we can answer in this video. And where are the questions?
In my hat. So the first question is gonna be the first question is gonna be from Treat Yourself 2011, and it says, "My girlfriend and I were planning on getting married this upcoming March. However, her family is strongly opposed to attending the wedding. They were fine with us being together, but don't want us to get married. What should I do, and what are your opinions on gay marriage?"
Sounds tough. What do you think?
Like, important topic, like, universally, because it's something that's been seen often, and it's kind of something that's not newly introduced, but something that people are barely starting to, like, comprehend in a way that they're okay with it, but still have, like, certain, like, feelings towards it. Like, they'll say that they're with it generally, but unless it's like, sometimes if it's within their family, like,
Yeah.
they're still like against it.
It's finally legal to get gay marriage across the nation. So at last we have that, but it took a long time for it to even occur, huh?
It did.
So it's pretty ridiculous. But so what should we do? What should I do? I think that the best thing to do is just to communicate, because that's the key for everything. Because if you don't communicate, everyone's just going to assume certain things. So just like lay it on the table and talk about your own, like,
How you feel about it, like,
yeah, how you feel.
Since if it's really important to you, like,
yeah,
you have to bring light to that you want them to take you serious on that issue, so that they can accept you fully, and it'll be okay.
Because in the end, marriage is marriage. It's just between two people who love each other. So that's the only thing that should matter.
Okay, so our next question is from Lux and Ivy 2.0. I recently found out that my wife is pregnant. I'm very excited and happy, but my wife thinks otherwise. She wants to get an abortion, but I really want to keep the baby. What are your thoughts on abortion?
Okay, so I think first, the most important thing about your situation is that she's the one that doesn't want an abortion, and at the end of the day, it's her body, and you can't force her to have a child because she's the one that's going to be undergoing all the pain and all the changes. There's different reasons why women want to get abortions. I mean, it can be the product of rape. She may not have the age, like she can be underage or just not in the right time. She may not be financially stable, and she can also have physical conditions such as when her body just won't support the baby, so it won't make it through. So I think that you guys just have to communicate and talk about it, because ultimately it's both you guys' decision, but it's also a lot of weight on her too.
And also, like, people say that the other option instead of getting an abortion is giving the baby up for adoption. But you have to think about the children that are already up for adoption, waiting in foster homes. They might get neglected or they might get abused. And they go through some dramatic stuff, and they don't have sometimes they don't get happy homes, and they don't have the happy childhood that they should get. Like, make sure that you are sure you want an abortion, because sometimes the moms regret it and they get depressed after the abortion.
In the end, you guys have to both talk it through, and you have to see if it's really the right decision and really the right thing you want to do. And since you don't want the abortion, you want to keep the baby, so I mean, you can talk it out and just try to get her to see the bright side of it, because having a child is a blessing. So I think you should just let her see that part, and if not, then you have to see her side of the story too, because abortion ultimately is just an option that you have out there.
Alright, so our final question is from username MouseRatRules, and it says, "Recently I've seen a lot of police brutality against minorities in the media, and it makes me really nervous. What do you think would be a great solution to this ongoing issue?"
So I think that just the police brutality is just a really big issue, and I think it's just because nowadays policemen just they usually just they think that they're an authority, so they can do whatever they want. So instead of trying to fix a problem, they go straight for the most times they go straight for the kill. So instead of shooting a limb or like shooting the hand off, so shooting the hand so they lose grip of the arm of the the handgun doesn't usually that doesn't even cross their mind. Or in other cases, they should use. I think they should just use tasers instead because those would be more useful as well. But nowadays, they just think if they're not listening to them, they're resisting, so I'm just going to shoot them. And in most cases, they die, and that's why it's a big. Now with social media, it's like something happens and it goes up and it goes viral, and there's a lot of cases like that. That's why I guess because of social media influence has just been a really big issue nowadays.
And to see themselves as higher up than most people. So it kind of makes them feel like they have the authority to just shoot anyone they want. So what we should do to kind of minimize at least this kind of activity towards minorities is have higher standards for police. So, I feel like a lot of people just go to police academy right out of high school if they don't go to college most of the time. So it's kind of like an easy way out. So they should have higher standards, and they should be very particular in who they pick to be a police officer because it's not a light job. It's very important, and you have to hold a gun, so that's a lot of responsibility for someone.
Well, like I said before, I think they should just use the tasers instead because I think just a gun, it's like way too much power for them nowadays. Like they can't even handle that. So a taser, they should just be reduced to just tasers. And after a while, if like for more dangerous situations, then they should be able to use the gun.
Police should stop being so scared of minorities as well. I feel like there's already a negative connotation towards them, and whenever they see like a black person or Hispanic individual, they kind of get more like nervous or tense. I feel, especially if the police officer is white. So I think we have to kind of understand the perspective of the minority and see that like we're just like everyone else. We're not all criminals.
And that's it for today. Thanks for submitting your questions.
Once again, this is Ovaries for Brovaries.
And that's it for this week. Come to us next week and we'll answer some more questions.
Thank you for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Down below.